Hey y'all,
Hey,
Hey.
it is a week that's occurred
a week has occurred and another one has begun.
and we are Sunday shifting.
We're very good at just stating facts.
That's
But
all,
in doubt,
that's all I got. How have y'all been this week? How are things?
Things have been things.
Yeah.
things have been thinking.
They've been thinking. There's been a lot of thinking happening
Yeah.
this week.
I don't even remember the week, if I'm being honest with you.
I've blocked a lot of it out.
I'm hoping to block a lot of it out.
You're like, please get out. Week.
We get away. And
Mm-hmm.
In the words of Beyonce,
Oh, yes.
move out the way.
Yes.
I'm with my girls.
And we all need space.
I have yelled that several times this week. So every week is a different Beyonce Renaissance mantra. And this week has been move out the way.
Mine has been Monday overrated, Tuesday on my dick, flip, flopping ass bitch. That's been my Beyonce mantra this week.
Amazing.
Even on Thursday, that was my mantra. You know what I mean? Like whatever day, it doesn't matter. Monday, I'm overrated. Whatever day.
Whatever day.
Beyonce.
It flows.
Hopefully, I always talking to Tanya. Hopefully, we don't get flagged for copyright for that.
Just the spoken word version.
And I look like I'm ready to do some spoken word to Beyonce with like some incense in the back, like a little guitar. That's the vibe that I'm going for right now.
I support this because it goes very well with my vibe. Yes.
Sandra, you have good news. Tell the world. Let's talk about it.
Oh yeah. I was cast in a play. Yeah. As folks know, I've been taking an acting class and I was paired with another Filipino actor, and she connected me with some auditions that were happening at the Filipino Theater in San Francisco, Bindle Stiff. For every spring, they have a playwriting workshop, and then they produce the plays in the fall. And so I'll be with acting with other amazing Asian folks, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Yeah. I feel so vulnerable.
So much closer to my dream of the role of Nicholas Cassadine will be played by Sandra Gonzalez.
Listen, the show's running through the first couple of weeks of October, and then I'm coming for your job, Marcus. Happy birthday.
is his birthday in October, or is it birthday now?
We don't talk about that.
He's a Libra.
We don't talk about that.
All right.
You know how I feel about male Libras, but then you also know how I feel about men. So I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. But
John Lindstrom is a good male Libra.
he is.
My brother is a good male Libra.
Okay.
I don't know him, but he's good.
I trust
And my
you.
uncle. So
See, there are models out there,
Marcus.
But John and Katie are a Libra couple, and now that's the dream.
The decadence.
The decadence. I'm sure they order a lot of variety appetizer platters.
Oh. Tapas.
Hella tapas. Yes. Just a little bit of everything. Thank you.
Just can you imagine traveling with another Libra? I mean, once you make the decision, it's gonna just be like amazing. Anyway,
Yes. Once you make the decision.
I have nothing to report out for the week.
I need to forget this week. That's it.
There was other week that occurred around my good news, and I don't care to talk about it. I would also like to forget it.
Bam, here we are. I am wearing my favorite earrings, by the way. That's
They are super cute. Super cute.
Yeah. So let's get into this recap of this week. I tried to rewatch. Whew. Some of it was good and some of it was sorry, Lord, right? You know what that means.
F.
So let's get into it. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
Great yelled at.
Yeah. That's like when you know the week was really bad, you just like overcompensate. You're like, the recap, yes.
We're here. We're in this together.
Yes. I was gonna start singing High School Musical, but I definitely don't want to skip flag for that. Anyway, for the week, starting with my absolute least favorite storyline. Let's talk about Sona. We see Christina at Charlie's. Hey, girl, hey. And she talks with Sunny about their family and Nina. She tells Sunny she will stand beside him always. And while she doesn't like Nina, she wants him to be happy. Nina talks with Liesl at the Metro Court about how Carly will always be a part of Sunny's life and seeks him out. Both Sunny and Nina decide to move forward with their relationship. Shout out to my fave Smoltz for coming through and shading it up. In other stories I hate, there's Cody Bell, the apparent son of Dominique Stanton. Now, if you have not watched that arc, at the very least, like watch, I think it's like a 7-minute video of her death that's like very beautiful. Yeah, anyway, watch that. Spinelli warns Britt away from Cody, and Cody forces him to fake admit that he has feelings for Britt himself. Somehow Britt and Cody are discussing a second date when he charms Liesl. After leaving a meeting with Ava, where we find out she's not divorcing Nicholas, boo, tomato, tomato. Scott finds his bae and catches a punch in the face from Cody. Cody regales us, Dante, Scott, Britt, and anyone else who will listen with tales of his man pain. Scott decides not to press charges, so despite being arrested, he gets to go free. Unlike Trina. What's going over there in the ADA office? Anyway, back on track. Back to Ava. She goes to General Hospital to find out that Esme has not washed up, dead or alive, and finds that out from Willow, who they share like an actually interesting scene. I'm sure we'll maybe get to. Nicholas convinces her that she stay in the marriage and not make his infidelity public because that would give Ava motive to kill Esme. Nicholas also tells Ava that Spencer was playing Esme all along to trap her and help Trina. Ava is impressed. Also helping Trina, Dex tells Michael that Sunny tried to make him do some jury tampering, and even Michael's dumbass knows Trina is off limits. So he decides that that's not how they're going to get Sunny. Sunny talks to Joss, who also hates him, and she agrees not to tell about the jury tampering for Trina. We also find out that Joss helped arrange the romantic time by the pool for Trina and Rory. Interesting, Joss. Portia talks TJ out of waking up bartender phone dealer from his coma, but we find out it's because she's going to do it herself. The problem? Rory's snitching ass. He's guarding the room and won't let Portia in. And not only will he not let Portia in, but he also calls Jordan to snitch on Portia. Y'all know I have been pretty Rory neutral, but today, the gloves are off. Defund the PCPD starting with Rory. In Vanna news, Anna decides that she needs to know the full truth about what's going on with Valentine, and she blackmails Martin to do it. Loved it. Drew talks with Valentine about taking down Victor in exchange for ELQ, and Valentine warns him that Victor is not to be fucked with. So I feel like there might be some sort of team up coming. Sante decides to move in together, and they have a conversation about Lulu. Or decide not to move in together, sorry. I need to be really clear. I am not a Lante fan. Keep Lulu's ass asleep. Finally, as we wait for Trina's verdict, we also have Spencer in lockup. I hate it. He's offered a deal, snitch on who let him out of Spring Ridge and get 15 days in Spring Ridge, which feels weird. Or don't snitch and get 90 days in Pentonville. He decides on Pentonville and has 2 weeks to report. And that is the overview of the week. How did y'all feel about it? Favorite moment?
The week. It was weak. It was a week. There were good moments. There were moments that I really enjoyed. There was a lot of drag. I mean, it's kind of the same cadence, right? Like the stories that are the most compelling keep the show moving and somehow make it moderately tolerable to deal with everything else. But this white man pain is diffuse all over the canvas, and it's very hard to, you can't just contain that. It's a contagion. Patriarchy, white supremacy, can't contain it. It is a contagion. My favorite moment, obviously Portia and the syringe. My favorite bad bitches on General Hospital are MILFs who wield their syringes with power in the name of justice.
That's right.
R.I.P. Lorraine Harmony Miller. Gone, but not forgotten by me, at least. Anyway, this is about Portia. Whatever Portia does, she does it for very good reason. I don't even need to know the reasons because I trust Portia. And Brook delivered. Brook always delivers, but it was really beautiful work to see her wrestle with what she needed to do, but also not wrestle with it. She was like, I'm doing it. I'm going to find a way no matter what. Her point of view was like so clear, so compelling. And the only thing that feedback I had for Portia was go faster, you're gonna get caught. That was it. That was the only thing I wanted her to do differently. I was just like, go faster, I don't want you to get caught. Because what I don't need is Portia losing her medical license or going to jail. Not interested in that, but I am interested in her shooting people up with a syringe to free Trina. No notes.
Absolutely. My favorite moment was Schmaltz coming through and reading Sona. I loved it. No notes. It was amazing. I loved it. Like, I am unapologetic in what I love, and I loved it. I appreciated that it was like a one take. He just like came in, was talking shit, and then bounced. And that's actually what I need from my day players. Come in, shake it up, bounce. And I really enjoyed that. And if you're a Sona fan, I don't know why you would listen to us, but if you're a Sona fan, like, you got what you needed because he came in and actually like transitioned them to the other side of a conversation. And that's another piece. Like, of course, I loved what he said, but it was like they were just like talking in a circle. Like, and okay, what's gonna happen? And then Smoltz came in, said some crazy shit, and then moved into the other side of the conversation. Keep it moving.
You know, I don't fast forward, but I do dissociate. And that was the only part of those scenes that I wasn't dissociating for. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So thanks, David. Good job.
What about you, Tanya?
I did not fast forward, but I definitely did not rewatch. But that scene is the only scene that I remember distinctly. about the soda. There are days that I had notes for, and there are days that I had nothing. Right? It was specifically Monday, Thursday, and Friday I had notes for.
Mm-hmm.
The other scenes were like, oh, there are some great moments. Yeah, there was. I forgot because I didn't bother to write it down because it wasn't that significant enough for me to make notes about. But I did enjoy that smolt scene a lot. And so that's great.
Sure.
One favorite moment that I want to talk about was the scene with Martin and Spencer in jail. I thought that was amazing. And I hadn't necessarily seen, and I don't know if there was an opportunity for Nicholas Chavez and Michael E. Knight to have some significant scenes together, but man, they played off of each other very well. And it was great to see a vet and Nicholas be able to shine against another great vet. It was awesome. And so I enjoyed every minute of it. And especially, I mean, there was like, not that it was shocking, but when Martin immediately recognized that, you know, Spencer was protecting Victor and just making it known to Spencer and be like, why are you protecting him? He's horrible and all that good stuff. And yeah, the end of the scene, I was just like, oh, Spencer. You know, it's one of my shaking my heads of, again, bad idea, Spencer. Good intentions, but bad idea, bad plan. But still, he was strong in his conviction and he's trying to do the right thing, but for the wrong person. But I enjoyed those scenes a lot. So I want to give a shout out to both of them. My performer of the week goes to Brook Kerr again. Just because, you know, we don't need a because. Just demonstrated. But really, her, like you had said earlier, her struggle on the not necessarily the decision itself, but how to execute the decision, and being thwarted, but still being resolved to do it again. My whole the favorite about it all was how at the end, I love the outcome of Jordan deciding to help Portia do it. Because for me, that's like, and I tweeted about it, I was like, Black women working to make sure that this young Black girl didn't get caught up in the system, doing everything that they could to prevent that within their means. Even if they're unconsciously working together to do it, it was just amazing. So I love that solidarity. But Brook Kerr, flawless throughout the week.
I mean, what is there to say? What I think that because Brook has been doing this for so long, she's so natural that it's easy to forget how good she is because she's so natural. And like GH doesn't give her a whole lot of time to shine, but anytime they give her to shine, it's like you're like, holy shit, like this is a person, this is a vet. This is somebody who like knows what they're doing. This is somebody who like elevates all of the material and the people around them. Part of the reason that Tabiana was like so good coming in is because she was able to share those scenes with Brook. So just like seeing her like just like shake and like, you know, like vibrating, like trying to figure out how she's gonna do this. To y'all point, like making the decision, not like, am I gonna do this, but like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna get around the snitch? Like, it was just, I was so impressed. And it was like so good to see. I mean, I've been watching Brook since Passions, you know what I mean? Like, so she's been a fave since then. And to like see her still delivering and like just like growing and elevating is amazing. Just Brook Kerr. And like I think that sometimes people be like, oh, such an age, it's such an age, and that takes away from how amazing Brook looks. Some of your faves have been aging, not in a bad way. People are supposed to age. I've aged. Brooke, only better with time.
Yep. Like there's Timeless, and then there's Brook Kerr.
Listen.
Which is like, this is far and beyond what's happening here. But also like, I don't want to know, just let it happen. Because it's to all of our benefit. Because then we get to look at her. I loved the subterfuge scenes, you know, when she was like, her and Curtis were having that conversation about like, yeah, you know, Rory, he's just really doing his fucking job.
Very loyal.
Being really hard. And I just don't know how anyone would ever get past this marker. Like, it was so good. Like her scenes with Rory, like her being like, all right, just let me get in there, motherfucker.
Like, yeah, just let me.
I loved it. And I really loved, I miss Jordan and Portia's friendship. And the way that they've bonded over being mothers, over being Black mothers. And it was nice, even though we didn't see the friendship directly, it was like a good callback to like, these two actually work really well together, these two characters. And I'm not eager for Trina's paternity storyline, but I am eager for more Portia and Jordan and their story together. I hope it is more generative than not, but it was a good reminder that this character connection is really important, actually.
Yeah.
And also, you know, this is like the most believable and like compelling that Portia and Curtis have been as a couple. Like giving them this like shared goal of saving Trina and the stakes. Like it gives their relationship, I don't feel invested because I'm never gonna ship that pairing, but I feel invested in the story. And like, oh, this will make the fallout more interesting, because before I was just kind of like, let's just go with it. And obviously I'm team Portia all the way. She did what she did.
She needed to do it. It needed to be done.
And I don't even need to know the reasons. But yeah. If you watched the show this week, then you just know it was Brooke. So we said all this stuff because we love talking about her, but y'all already know it's Brooke, obviously.
But I mean, I do want to give another shout out though, because I think Michael E. Knight had a great week.
Yes,
I agree.
He had great scenes with Vanilla Hughes, Anna. Those are two master classes together. He also had great scenes with Lucy. I mean, those were great scenes, master classes. And then he had great scenes with Nicholas Chavez. So he had a great week. And I'm sad that he might be leaving again or going out of town. Well, because Anna blackmailed him, but I think he should stay and duke it out and then still try to help. He doesn't know what's going on with Valentine, but he should investigate and try to find out. I think it would be great if he did do that. But, you know, being a lawyer is unethical, blah, 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 whatever.
Blah, blah, blah.
So is hiding money from your spouses. So let's just go for it.
I love that Lucy didn't give a fuck. She was like, "Oh, I don't care about that." And then like Lucy was like, "We're gonna stay here. It's gonna be fine." And he was like, "She was like, whatever Anna wants. What does she want it on? Oh, Valentine. I'll help you pack. Don't even worry about that."
He's like, "Oh, Valentine. Yeah, we ain't getting in the middle of that."
I also like what I love about Martin and Lucy is that Lucy and Martin are freaks. They don't even care.
She's like, "You're not gonna see me in my underwear tonight." I was like, "Oh."
I was like, Martin and Lucy are the friskiest people in Port Charles, and I love it for them.
Love it.
Mm.
I love it so much.
Lynn still looks amazing.
Yes.
Michael Ignite, like I've loved him for years. I loved him as Tad. So like to see him here, like just being a delight everywhere he touches on the canvas. You know, like he doesn't have dud scenes.
Right.
He just like is good every time he touches, like every scene he touches. And the Nicholas Chavez or the Spencer Martin scenes were like so unexpected for me that I was like, oh.
Yeah. There's no like throwaway scenes for Michael Ignite. He's actually what I chose for what is working.
Oh, let's get into it.
Yeah.
That was I also, I was a lifelong AMC watcher. Whenever my dad would randomly like drop in and watch things because he was like one of those people who are like, oh, I'm not really paying attention, I don't really watch that show. And then he sees Michael Ignite pop up and he's like, oh, Tad the Cad, what's he up to? So like every time he's on screen, I can like hear my parents being like, oh, Tad the Cad, what's he up to? Because when I visit them, I always am like, we're watching General Hospital, and they're like, oh, we don't watch that show anymore. And then they're like, wait, who's that and what are they doing? And yes, I loved the Anna and Martin scenes. I mean, those were what spoiled ahead of time, so I knew to look out for them. But they and even on paper, I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. But in execution, breathless. I was like, I don't know what I would do if Anna Devane was doing this to me. I would be like, I just have whatever you want. Sure, yeah, I'll throw my whole life away. Like,
you want me to wear a wire? Just fit me. Do it.
Fit me.
Fit me. Do they have like the wire set up just like they have the pregnancy belly? I
don't know.
Adjustable. And so like getting to see him play versus Finola and like how excited he was to like finally get like another scene with her, and she let him in on her preparation practice, and that he was like, I got to FaceTime with Finola.
He like told JPS, he was like, guess who FaceTime with Finola this week?
JPS is like, put me in. What the hell is going on here?
I bet you JPS was jealous, was like, hold on. You may have you can have your little 5 seconds with Finola, but I get to be in the relationship.
Yes. It's just like that first scene with Michael and Finola and JPS last summer at the pool.
Right.
It's like, excuse me, what's happening here?
Are you flirting with my woman?
And are you receptive to this? So great. And also just him and Lucy, it feels so believable.
Mm-hmm.
And like getting to see these two greats like be in their like full sexy selves, knowing also the history of Lucy's character and then like kind of pulling from the history of Tad. There's like a little like, it would have been interesting actually for there to be like a Lucy Co Tad Martin meetup.
Ooh.
I did not make that connection that Martin is almost a Tad the Cad. He has three. I was like, wait,
and his name is
three ex-wives.
Yep. And Tad Martin.
Yes.
Last name overlap. I see.
Right. Oh my God. I see you, GH.
He's like a Southern Tad who never met his Dixie.
Oh,
right.
Dixie.
Aw.
I know. Now you're gonna make me
Katie is strong in the episode today. Katie's never even been on GH that I know of, and we're like, Katie, Dixie, pull from all the surface. But it's like they really found something special in this like pairing that I think was just kind of supposed to be like a little bit of like a throwaway wink joke, and please keep running with it. It's so good. Yeah. Every time I see them on screen today, I'm just it's just like, yes, please, more. Also, Lucy in that dress. Michael's just like, I am not worthy. I am so grateful for my job every day. And then, of course, seeing him with my child. Ugh. I didn't even know that I wanted that from Martin and Spencer. But I really loved how, because with the Dante and Spencer scenes, I was happy to have them. And I was happy to see Dom and Nicholas together. And I thought they did a good job. But I was like, were we not talking about how y'all are cousins? His cousin uncle? We're not. Right.
It was not giving.
It was not giving. The writing was not giving. And so I really loved how I was kind of expecting, I was like, are they just going to treat Martin like he's just like his lawyer and not like his great uncle? And so I appreciated that they made it really explicit, called Laura in to the scene. And it also just showed how important Laura is to Martin. And so anything that's important to Laura is going to be important to him. Mm-hmm. And so like him actually taking on this like familial, I was just like, oh, I also really need that for Spencer. Like, I just need more grown people in his life that actually care about his well-being. And I didn't even think about the fact that I was like, oh yeah, Martin and Victor are both his great uncles.
Yeah.
And that juxtaposition, I was like, oh, wasn't like you said, Tracy, it was just so unexpected. And I loved it. I loved it. It was the best surprise in a while.
Yeah. And then the roundabout way that they brought it up with the whole Greek mythology and all that. That was so good. It was so good. It was like, just shows how like precocious Spencer is and has always been. And I liked the way that Martin like took it and ran with it and was also like, all right, kid, now this ain't Greek mythology. And then Spencer being like, well, I am Greek. Okay. Well, we're a little split on Spencer being, I was like, Spencer snitch. Mm-hmm. Snitch.
I was very proud of him for not snitching. So that's my kid. We don't snitch around here.
That's where he's your kid. I was like, okay, let's do a little power analysis here.
No, we're not snitching. No, I don't like that. So for this week working for me, what do I have just written? The Black people. I mean, it was just like every single person like showed up and showed out. I loved seeing Jordan like wrestle, because I feel like we haven't really had her do a lot. And so to see her like wrestle with like her job, I was like, are we about to become an abolitionist show? I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for us to have a lot of critique about how this innocent Black girl can go to jail because of all these systems in place. Mm-hmm. But like, I loved seeing her wrestle with like her job and like saving Trina. Loved TJ being so concerned about Trina. I do want for Trina to be Taggart. I do not want her to be Curtis's. I just don't. I think she still gets the family that is the Ashfords. They already love her. Let's just not do it. Let's maybe have this is just me, this is my hope. Let's have a scare Taggart's still the dad, like whatever. But loved TJ really caring about Trina. Obviously loved Brooke. I loved Curtis and Trina's scenes, like where she was like scared and she hugged him. I'm like, look at the long way we've come, because he used to be cussing him out on site.
On site.
Curtis couldn't even breathe. Curtis couldn't even breathe. And Trina be like, "Are you breathing, bitch? I see you." Is that
you want some
exhale?
Oh, you want some fucking water? You want some electric water? My dad, because he's dead.
You.
Oh, I missed that part of Trina. She was straight on site with him and home dude.
And she was so like with him and Jordan. And I appreciated it. I loved it. Even like Cam and Johnson be like, everything's okay. She's like, no, fuck him. Okay.
You're taking him out.
So look how the turntables turn. Now
I
would
love to see Tabiana access that part of Trina. I would love to give her the opportunity, because she would deliver.
She definitely did.
I can't
remember
wait.
when she gave Esme a
Oh yeah.
like,
and everything. Oh yeah.
Tabiana's
yeah,
ready.
I thought that everybody delivered. The like working together to save Trina, like y'all already pointed out, like against the system, between the system, like accessing every part of the system, and working against it to save Trina. It just like really worked for me and really showed me. I've had a really hard time with the storyline, especially around like the carceralness of it all. But I do love Trina being front and center. I love that Trina was on the cover of Soap Opera Digest. I love everybody coming together. Just like there's nobody who has bad things to say about Trina. You know, even Michael's punk ass was in the car and he was like, listen, Trina's great. Okay. I'm a mess over here, but Trina's great. You know what I mean? Like there's just like nobody who doesn't know she's great. And that really, really works for me, especially, you know, Black Hospital. What about you, Tanya? What's worked for you this week?
I talked about everything that worked for me, so I'm ready to talk about what doesn't work for me. In all caps. All caps. I have to repeat myself again. Nothing about Cody works. Even this whole rewrite about him being abandoned by his mom and suffering the poor pauper life, I still don't feel sorry for him. Actually, it makes me feel that he's even more entitled. I don't like him. Like, really? So you're going to punch out a guy who didn't even know you existed? You're going to be mad because the daughter decides to give the money away to a good cause? No. I almost still don't believe. He needs to come up with a DNA test with that. It sounded like a story he made up on the spot because he's such a liar and manipulator in the first place. But Scotty being, you know, I guess still in love with Dominique and wanting to do right by her, is going to acknowledge the possibility that this man could be her son. No.
He was like, I see it in the eyes. Lisa was like, so
what eyes?
We get a DNA test or what? Because this
necklaces, hats, and now eyes.
No. Nothing about him worked. Him throwing Spinelli under the bus? No. Him like dragging Spinelli off. Oh, we need to talk. That was hella aggressive, first of all. You ain't got to do that. Spinelli can walk. He don't need your assistance. I'm annoyed. I don't like him. I'm almost on site with him. Really, I am almost at that point.
He's awful.
And while he's not working for you, your energy for him is working for me.
Whoever made the decision to have the juxtaposed scenes of him whining about his fucking non-inheritance to Dante while we're worried about Trina's freedom needs to be fired because it did nobody any favors. I don't give a shit. Get this man off my screen. Don't care about him. Poor Dominique for having to be attached to him. Let that woman rest in peace.
Right.
And there's literally, like, that does not make me like him. That doesn't change anything about who he has been, will be. You just punching on Scotty for what?
Which I did like, just isolated. I like Scotty being punched. And it's like the Dominique of it all. It's like Dominique's actually like one of like the few humanizing things about Scotty for me as a Scott hater. So bringing up using her to prop Cody is just even grosser. Cause like I was like, oh, the punch, okay, I like that. And then it was because of this, I was like, oh no. And it never got Cody out of the hole with me. There's no getting out of the hole, Cody. You're in there. You're never getting out. But like,
yeah,
I was like, okay, that's like, that's the way I watch this show. I'm like, oh, a character I hate does something I like. I'm going to say I like that. But then, because if we're going to be getting like one of Dominique's kids, give me Serena. If we want to humanize Scott and like bring his backstory up, bring me Serena, because then it also brings in Lucy. Which, I mean, this will bring in Lucy too, obviously, because of her relationship with Dominique and the whole, really, that whole storyline. And we've been asking for Serena for forever.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna bring back a white legacy character.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. I think there's something. Like we have this conversation all the time around like balance of the story, like of the scripts and of the storylines and of where people are. I think there's also, or like episode counts, but for me there's also like balance of like misery versus not misery, balance of like relationships that are moving versus relationships that are new. Cody sucks, and he didn't need to be thrown in that balance. We already had, like, we literally could have Spixie and have whatever Austin and Britt are called.
Yep.
We did not need this extra character. And to your point, if we were gonna have some extra balance about in some of these vets, let's tell the Ice Princess story. Cause like they killed Luke. This is my rant. What was the purpose of killing Luke?
There wasn't.
You killed, I mean, I don't care. Fuck Luke. I hate him anyway. But like, you killed Luke off screen to not bring back any of his children to the show, to like run a storyline that maybe has had like 3 things that have happened on screen since then that could have been attributed to something else. Anyway.
Can I go back to the Britt Austin thing? Because you're right. Cody did not need, like, the Austin story that's coming along right now could have been happening while Britt and Austin were together. He didn't need to be with Maxie.
That hug and kiss combo was so weird between Austin and Maxie. I was like, y'all, what's going on here?
Cringy.
Like, thanked her. I was like, oh no.
I'm like, why are you kissing your daughter that way? That was the vibe. I'm proud of you, honey.
I am Georgie. I don't fuck with this.
Yes, Georgie has the correct energy. Georgie has been a Spixie shipper from conception.
Boom.
One more rant. I just have to say, Cody thinking that blackmailing Spinelli is gonna endear it. No, it's not gonna. It doesn't make me like you. You're not justified in blackmailing Spinelli. No. Even if Spinelli used some sort of illegal algorithm to do his work, it does not make what you're doing right at all. And you extorting money from him is just, you're like a bully. That's what he is. He's a bully. He's a manipulator. He's misogynistic. He's horrible person. I don't like you, Cody. You do not work. Sorry.
And you smell bad.
Please don't ever apologize for
You
that.
like you just said he smelled bad.
You smell like horse.
Smell like horses.
Oh, that's right. They do keep saying he smells bad.
It's canon.
And he keeps calling himself a cowboy. Please get out of here. Please go away. You are in like upstate New York. You're not in Montana. Shut up. I guess those are like cowboys. Shut your ass up.
I don't. Not like you. Not
No.
with nuts. Ugh.
Cody.
Yeah.
So Tracy, what else is not working?
Two things. Well, several things, but I'm gonna start with this one. I know people love the Chrissy Sunny scene.
Oh.
It didn't work for me. I was really happy to see Christina back. When she got like promoted, I was like, well, that's interesting because didn't Julian and Ava just give her the bar before? So like, why is a promotion like this feels like a demotion actually? But I am always happy to see Christina. I did not like the conversation between her and Sunny. I thought it was fine. I knew she was going to come back and be supportive of Sunny and Nina. I understood that she was coming back to like prop Sona, but I didn't like the way they had her do it. It was like, she was like, oh, Dad, you've always been there for me. You know, when I was in this cult and got brainwashed, you were there for me, not just because I was sleeping with my professor, because I was queer. Like, it's just like, really, I was like, this is your dad. He's supposed to be here for you. And like, I would have liked for Sunny to say, it doesn't matter whether you accept me or Nina or not. Like, I love you. Like, I'm your dad. I'm supposed to be here for because it felt like what Christina was saying was almost like transactional. Like, you have supported me through these things, so therefore, like, I support you. I appreciated her saying, we thought you were dead. Like, I don't think you should waste time being unhappy. That was like that like through line was like right for me. But the like, you supported me, so I'm gonna support you, like, unlike my ungrateful siblings, just was not it for me. When Sunny kind of like threw Dante under the bus, I'm like, Dante's actually been like one of the best people to you, like the best case scenario for you in this situation. Dante was the one who warned you that Michael was coming after you. Like, he like broke his trust with his brother to tell his criminal ass daddy that, like, you know what I mean, to like watch out. So it was just, it was really the like, you accepted me and my girlfriend piece that really like threw me. I was like, oh no, this is not, this just ain't it. I didn't like it. I don't know. Maybe that was just the way I read it. How did y'all read the scene?
It was awful. Honestly, like, I agree with you. That's what Sunny should have said, and it's also that's not Sunny. Sunny is not a good dad. He's like already shown that. He's like, his love is conditional. His support is conditional. And if you're not with it, then you're out.
Yeah.
So it was in line with his character, just like all the stupid shit that he does, because he's an awful character. Just, you know, some thoughts I have. Some casual Sunny analysis. You know, just came to mind. And this is like also, it's a problem with Christina, like the way that they use Christina. But it's like also like how they use queer characters on the show. It's like they have their little queer storyline, and then when that storyline is up, they don't care about this character anymore. They don't care about giving them agency. They don't care about anything beyond coming out or like the first gay marriage or like whatever, like gotcha milestone that they're trying to hit to appease people around representation. And so once that's over, then you're just there to prop other people's storylines. I mean, like, look what happened to Lucas after the storyline with Wiley was over. Look what happens to Brad. Like, he just gets trotted out to move like Brit's story at this point, and we actually haven't even seen him in forever. So it's like stuff like that where like I'm like, yeah, I am happy to see Christina, but I actually could have done without this scene. I could have done without seeing her if this is how we're going to see her.
Yeah,
I didn't like it because it wasn't the Christina I wanted to see. We got, oh yes, Dad, I'll forgive, you know, because you've been for me, whatever. I wanted to see in your face, holding people accountable, you know, inappropriate Christina, yelling at Nina at every chance she gets on site. I miss the Christina that's like Trina. She would be like livid at Nina if she was on that show as much as she should be.
Yep.
And that's what I wanted to see, and I didn't see it, so I didn't like it.
Because Christina is like she's part Sunny, but she's also like Alexa.
Yeah.
And so she has her idea of like how things should be, and I think she has like more flexibility in it than like say or creativity around it. Maybe not flexibility, creativity around it than Molly.
Yeah.
But she can be, she's not necessarily self-righteous, like I'm so good and therefore, but she will call out some hypocrisy. She will call out some bullshit. And so like there is that part of Christina that is like, well, who am I to judge? But then there's also the other part of her that's like, I've been there, so I actually can judge you. Because I know about that shit, actually.
I remember there was a scene for Christina like reading the shit out of Sam over Jason. He was like, Jason will never be there for you. Like he's for my dad and Carly. So this is cute. Y'all only are together because you're danger junkies. You should thank me for being in a fucking cult because me being in the fucking cult is what kept y'all together. And everybody in the scene was like, damn. And I was like, damn, Christina.
And I was like,
oh yeah, because you were a dream. And so like, yeah, like it was just like, this is like who Christina should be. And so people like call for Christina, but they don't understand what they're called. I'm gonna say that they don't understand, but they don't want all of Christina. Your point. Christina should be, and part of it, and part of the reason I've always like bucked against Sona is because it's such poor storytelling. I don't care who Sonny's with. I'm never gonna like it. You know what I mean? Like I don't like Sonny, and I don't like his pairings. But I specifically don't like Sona because it's such poor storytelling. It's lazy. It's you're gonna like this whether you like it or not. It's propping. It's all of the worst things that we see in soaps thrown at one storyline to make it work when it still doesn't work. And so it actually like I saw something about like Jocelyn being like super self-righteous or something around Nina, and it was like something like, why is Jocelyn so much Carly and no Jax? Let's back it up for a second. The self-righteous part of Joss is Jax. Carly is a mess. And Carly is like, my world is the right world, but she's not self-righteous. She's just like narrow-minded. Like, you know,
right. There's a difference.
Like, she, even with, you can tell that Jocelyn's not Carly from the conversation that she had with Carly about Sunny.
Yes.
That was Jax. That was a Jax conversation. So like you might not like Carly, you might not like Joss, but like the characterization is like off. Jocelyn Jax is Jasper Jax's daughter, for better or for worse. And she has some Carly in her 100%. for sure has some Carly in her, but like she is not all Carly. That's incorrect. Like that's very, very incorrect. And I say that because part of why Jocelyn should be mad at Nina, but this is like they're not telling story, is that Jocelyn was close to Nina because Jax was dating her. So it's not like you just did this shit and you kept Sunny. You actually betrayed me as a person. I came to get my dad and you were hiding my stepdad. Like, but because they wanted to tell the Sona story and not have people be, and they don't want anybody to be a monster and they don't want anybody to be a bad guy who needs to be redeemed, they didn't tell the full story. In the same way that we don't see Christina. They're not going to allow Christina to come and say what she really has to say about Sona because it doesn't fit into the story they're trying to tell about Sona. So anyway, sorry about that. And the other thing I have, and I think that Sandra, you might have something. So I'll just say snitching ass Rory didn't work for me. Yeah. I have always been pretty Rory neutral. My problem with Rory doesn't have really anything to do with Sprina, because Sprina, they're going to be together. Rory's an obstacle. I get it, like it's fine. I've never liked him being a cop. I've always thought that was some bullshit. And that unnecessary ass snitching he did this week, that's what I have to say. Sorry for audio listeners. I did a thing.
You did I'm watching you and you're dead to me. Yeah. Ooh, Rory. What a journey we've been on, and we haven't gone far. Been a very boring journey. Yes, it's interesting, like the snitching arcs, or the choosing not to snitch. We have Spencer over here who I'm like, bitch, you better snitch. And I never say that, but like, fuck Victor. He'll be fine. But then we have Rory over here snitching for no good goddamn reason. It was very strange. I mean, what it did end up doing was setting up Jordan to help. So that's cool, but that was not his intention. And it just, there is like the way his character is not working based on like what happened this week. There's a way that his character is not working based in the love triangle too, and just like his overall characterization. Mm-hmm. So the love triangle is not giving because of the writing in so many ways. It's not like a chemistry issue between the two of them. Tatiana doesn't have chemistry issues, just to be clear, with anyone. No. She has chemistry with everyone in different ways, but she certainly has that. There is enough romantic, like sexual chemistry between those two actors to make it much more interesting than it is right now. Mm-hmm. And so they're just not, there have been several new characters that have been brought on in his age range, right? Of that like 20s to 30s age range. Mm-hmm. And he's the only one that has not been given a backstory. Yep. And not connected really to any like storyline of his own, right? We have Dex, who's connected to Sunny, Michael, who they're going to pair with Joss quite clearly, who has like, he has organic conflict built into his story. We have, Tex Dex, who, we've already talked about at length.
They're but he's given baby.
What?
They're now calling him Stable Baby.
Stable Baby. So he is like probably the child of Dominique and what's his face, big villain from the time, right? Like we're giving him connections to Dante. We're giving him the storyline where he's like conning Britt and also blackmailing Spinelli. And then we have Rory over here killing time. And you know, of course, my feelings about the actor are complicated. I've been very transparent about that. And that does impact how I view characters. Absolutely. If I know like shady shit about actors, you know, it's gonna be relative to how I feel about the characters and how invested I am in the actors and all that. But at the end of the day, we have these two white characters being brought on around the same time that have been given all these things. And then we have this Asian actor over here who, and honestly, like I would say, especially Josh Kelly is a more experienced actor. So I'm going to take him out of this comparison. I'm not saying he's great, but he is more experienced. But we have like the two actors playing Dex and Rory who are like honestly about the same level of capability.
Yep.
Take that as you will. And we see one getting a lot of development and the other one not.
Yep.
We're seeing one get like writing that is, you know, somewhat compelling, and we're getting the writing that seems intentionally boring, like intentionally bland.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you right now, Dex, the actor, like the performance, it's bland. So whatever you want to say about the performance for Rory, I probably agree. And what's going on over here? I think I might know what it is. Obsession with white men. And like the standards that they're held to, and what we consider to be talent, what we consider to be worthy of investment. So like, I'm definitely not standing Rory. You know, I have complicated feelings about the actor, and this is a pattern. So we're just bringing on more, like it is the difference between representation and like diversity and actually telling like compelling, equitable stories. And by equitable, I mean like across the board, getting character development, getting opportunities to play like lots of different point of view. It just continues to be very GH, unfortunately. And the obsession with white men and that bleeding out not only to like women's storylines being poor, but also men of color.
And I would say that I'm clear as to how I feel about the actor. I don't have complicated feelings about Rory as a character. I was neutral. It's fine. Like he serves the purpose he serves. I don't dislike Rory. And so to see the lack of development in the character where other white characters are getting development, like it's really fucking clear to me, regardless of how I feel about the actor, that like this is inequitable. And then if you want to talk about the actors, Dex, that character is in other people's TikToks. Like, let's talk about that shit. He's in TikToks with Mo and Marcus and Cynthia. He like just did State of Mind with Mo. That's an investment. That's a behind the scenes investment in an actor that carries over into the character. And we haven't seen that with this other character of color. It just has not happened. And we know that people like that. We know that people say, oh, look at these people being together, or look at this, or look at that. And I don't know what MBK's schedule is. I don't know if it's just that he doesn't have time or he doesn't whatever, but it's really difficult for me to believe that like if Mo asked him to be on State of Mind, he would say no.
Right.
It's really difficult for me to believe that somebody was like, come do this TikTok dance and you didn't do it. Like, or whatever it is. And so like, we see very clearly like who are the people who are being like invested in. And so then there was even like a thing, and so this is where I had complicated feelings, where Michael Fairman, the soap press, interviewed Brooke and Tabiana. And like asked them a bunch of questions about like Sabrina and their relationship and the story, and also Rowena. And somebody like pointed out, oh yeah, like Michael Fearman hashtag Sprina, but he didn't hashtag Rowena. I get it as like people who like Sprina, as people who don't fuck with Rory, that's one thing. But like, what is that saying about the chances that a character is given from Soap Press if like they're not included in a real way in the conversation? And Rory's not, and the actor is not. What am I thinking? He's a contract player.
Yeah.
Right. So he's not recurring. So for me, that is where I like,
yeah,
where I start having flags go up.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like, you had this character come in who was about to go up against Spencer fucking Cassadine. So he was never going to be people's favorite for Trina. He was never going to be my favorite for Trina. I've invested. I am a long-suffering Sprina fan, goddammit. I've invested. We started this podcast talking about Sprina.
Yes.
Sandra, we were talking about Sprina before we even saw Nicolas Chavez. We heard they were like recasting Spencer. We're like, oh, that's for Trina. Mm-hmm. So it's not about like, you know, I've always said that Rory is like the McVet to the McDreamy in the storyline. It's not that. But what else is he? Because when the triangle is over, is he over? Y'all haven't even given him like relationship to Dante or other cops.
Yep. Which felt like it was being teased and then was never fleshed out. And, you know, like sometimes they'll give actors more if they if they feel like they can hold more, or like, oh, you know, there's actually something here that we weren't expecting. Like, let's actually give this character more. The difference is that the more was not built in like it is with Dix. And they really are at the same talent level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, I don't even mean like, we know, and I'm sure that Nicolas Chavez gets many things because he's talented. Yeah. And like he gets things that he wouldn't have gotten at the beginning because they know that he's like beloved and people want to see him. And there's a reason that he gets shit that Nicholas doesn't, or that Spencer gets things that Nicholas doesn't get, if we're being honest.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm talking about if there's like a when the boys are like fucking doing yoga, why don't we see him interact with Chase?
Right.
I'm saying that, you know, has he even spoken to TJ? You know what I mean? Like, what are the interactions that like ground people to the show? And if you don't want him on the show, then you shouldn't have put him on contract. He should have been recurring and like one and done, or like nothing. But if he was going to actually be like a real barrier to Sprina that made sense, that he should be somebody who is there in a way that's not just this. Because again, like it was going to always be difficult. People have been waiting for Sprina for a long time. It's not going to be some random ass dude who I don't know who's going to get in the way of me wanting my Sprina. But this is not, I can tell that it's very inequitable. It's very fucked up. And you named it right up top. It's the obsession with white men.
Who has to be excellent in order to get any sort of character development? It's not white men. Like Nicholas gets extra because he's so talented, and I would never take away from that.
And he's
let's look at all the ones who are not, you know, like who are not as talented as him, and they still get stuff.
Yeah.
So the bar is already so low for men in soaps, for white men in soaps. It's incredibly low. When you look at like the breakdown of, for example, the daytime Emmys, and you compare the caliber of performances between the male category and the female category, that in itself speaks to everything. And we also look at the racial breakdown of both of those. So,
well,
what we're never gonna do is accuse us of being obsessed with white men. So, cheers. But I would like to point out that I said Michael E. Knight was what was working this week. So fuck y'all. Not y'all, obviously. But those of you who say that I hate white men, that is true. But I love Michael E. Knight. Okay.
The people in our comments who say, in our YouTube comments who say that we don't like white men, one, so what? And two, I present to you Michael E. Knight.
I would like to present to you, for me, JPS.
Yes.
Because
And to you, Nicholas Chavez. Look, we like white men, some of them.
some of them,
A few of them.
maybe, yeah, 3.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sometimes Johnny Wachter and Schmaltz.
Oh yeah. Look at us naming our. We are so inappropriate. We're just naming our white friends. Let's move on.
I have white friends.
Let's move on.
They're not really white friends.
Let's move on to hot takes. I have many hot takes.
I don't know them that well, but I do appreciate their skill.
Yep, I have many hot takes. Can I give you one?
Yes.
Recall Robert fucking Scorpio.
Yes.
Get his ass out of office. I've had enough. Okay? Why is my child going to big boy prison? I don't like it. Get him out of there. So, like, you basically tried to blackmail Spencer into like telling on Victor, all off camera. You are prosecuting Trina with bullshit evidence, but Tex Dex gets to go?
Not even a night spent in jail.
Because Scotty's not pressing. Scotty comes in here with still a bloody nose right now, still bleeding. He's like, well, he's not pressing charges. Well, guess who didn't press charges against Trina? The victims, who said she didn't do it. Recall Robert Scorpio. And my campaign name is Friends of Sprina.
Yes. We're tired of you.
And I start my recall efforts today.
Listen, Robert, when you're not like there for Anna's story, I kind of just need you to go visiting like Robin in Berkeley. I don't need you off screen being the DA. I don't need it.
He's like, yeah, him as a character on the show is okay. Him as a DA off screen is horrible.
I've always hated, I mean, fucking DA. And Robert Scorpio as DA with his law degree from Clown College that we didn't know about for decades. And in like what world does a man who went to law school at Clown College in 1960 or whatever the fuck he went now gonna be the DA? He's never practiced law before.
And you have to be elected to be a DA, right? Not in Port Charles. I guess you can be just, appointed.
Remember how through the fucking door. Hey, you want to be DA?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I hate it.
What did Alexis have to do to be DA? And all the way, and fuck Alexis and Alexis was actually a fucking lawyer.
And fucking DA. Because you know me, I did Google how to recall a DA in New York State.
And you have a campaign prepared.
I do have a campaign plan prepared. You have to collect signatures. It has to go on the ballot. And I feel like I can win this.
Yes.
See, what's that the director's name? Frank. We have a storyline for you to include us in GH. So we will stand outside the coffee shop and collect signatures to recall Robert Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
Text us because we have an invoice for you.
Yeah. And then make sure that you allow Dante to go and get some coffee during that time.
Oh my God.
And TJ.
And TJ.
Oh, and TJ.
Have you seen? Yes. Anyway, let's not.
I see a triangle brewing.
And I will steal his ass away from Sorry Molly. Yes, I will. A doctor? Oh, hey, TJ, hey.
I saw Taj, I think it was like last week, posting the thirst trap of him like weightlifting. I was like, all right, Taj, we see you.
What you're doing, Taj. Keep doing it.
Is Nina gonna stab Carly with her culturally appropriated knives?
Yes. It was not giving what they thought it was giving.
What's going on here?
Why do they keep doing this to Kathleen Gaddy is what I want to know.
I need Carly to just start playing randomly in the middle of the day. Why are you so obsessed with me? When she thinks about Nina. It's crazy. I cannot imagine that a Nina fan, I mean, how would I know? But I cannot imagine that a Nina fan like wants their fave to be talking about Carly this much. You mad because she about to have a grandbaby? And you really had Liesl say that stupid shit too?
I can't believe she said it out loud.
How dare she have a grandchild? Oh my God.
The universe is looking out for her, so therefore it's okay that you fucked her husband on a dock ship. Okay. Let's move on. That's my GH, like, that's my motto for myself, for GH. Let's move on.
Let's keep it moving.
Keep it moving. I love Thirsty Trina.
What's going on over here? She did not care about Cam in that moment.
I was gonna say, I'm like, isn't Cam your bestie too? Because she was like, Joss, who is
Tabiata said that was Sydney's Trina, not me. And I would like, for the record, on the record, Cam and I were not together.
Listen, because Cam was understanding, like, well, we had a thing. He's trying to explain it. Diane was like, so were you ever with Cameron? No. Diane's like, can I finish the question? No. Yes. Were you ever with Cameron? No.
We were not together.
And I will say that Tatiana has chemistry with every single person that she crosses with, except for Cameron. The vibe with Cameron and William is like, oh, this is my cute friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. They have bestie vibes for sure. Not anything bad, you know, but it's definitely not romantic vibes. It's like, oh, this is the guy I grew up with at summer camp vibes.
Yes. And it's also a little like, this is my best friend's boyfriend vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they haven't had much opportunity to be like, you know, to build because of the way that the storyline is set up with him being with Spencer so much. But yeah, it's noticeable. Okay. Like, no Cameron and Trina in this iteration. Thank you.
No Cameron and Joss and Trina in this iteration either.
You know, it's so like I never thought I would be like, what about Cam? But I am a little bit like, what about Cam with the way that this, where this storyline is building. I am kind of like, I just had gotten like, you know, feeling connected to this character. And now you're gonna do this. And I'm like, what's gonna happen with Cam? Who's Cam gonna have?
And then taking Spencer away to jail? Cam ain't gonna have nobody.
It's such a testament to William that I love one of Liz's kids so much.
Right.
You know?
And that I'm saying, what about Cam? Me? Sweet Simple Cam? I haven't called him that in months.
I know. I was like in a Spaces defending Cam the other day with my life. I was like, Cam has been through so much. It's so stressful for him. He's raising children.
Right. They're really raking over the coals. And I'm like, you know, obviously I am not a chaos shipper. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm not a chaos shipper. But I'm like, damn, like Dex with my Jocelyn?
I would like to point out that Cameron is white boy number 7 that we care about.
Yeah, we love William and we like Cameron.
Yes. William does his thing. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah. Cutie.
Yes, love the behind the scenes photo of Cassandra James and Nicholas Chavez at William Limpton's concert. Oh, I loved it. My heart was so full.
I really actually teared up. I was
like, these people are all hanging together. I love it.
Who shared that photo? I want to see it.
It was on Cassandra's Instagram.
Okay.
Or Instagram story. I'll see if I might have screenshot it. If I did, I'll send it to you. Loved it. Oh, and then I have some other hot takes, but if they come back, we'll thread them. Oh, 2 more. If anything comes back, I'll thread it in. Willow and Ava scenes were very surprising, but good. Free Katie.
No, but the look on Maura's face where she was like, okay. I'm gonna hug you right now.
Katie was like, don't leave me with Chad. Like, that girl.
the contrast, because like those scenes were so like beautiful and natural, and like also I appreciate the way that, I mean, because Maura's just excellent, phenomenal. Like, she brought that energy of like, this is a weird interaction, while still being like very empathetic and like making those like character connections. But like, I would like to see more of that when people have weird interactions, for the actors to kind of make that like, we're doing this. Okay, sure. But as soon as Michael entered the scene, the magic just dissolved, and it's like Willow retreated into herself. I'm kind of like, oh man, so if the end of Milo is the death of Willow, we traded out the wrong character.
And also, Michael got to just go off screen with his because then we're
gonna have to deal with his man pain.
I meant his death dick, but yeah, sure.
Well, yes, his man pain caused by his death dick. Yeah.
I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna go with it.
I mean, all of Michael's exes be dying, or either.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Or look what happened to Sasha. It's like Final Destination over there. Like, it just keeps trying to get her.
Like us in COVID. Ducking and dodging.
And then the final thing I want to say is, so I've thought a lot. I think a lot about like Trina as a character and like her longevity, and like what like makes her different than like other Black young women characters that we've had on the show. And like I think that it's like, I mean, obviously Sprina, but I think it's the friendships. And so I've seen a lot about like Jocelyn not being a good friend to Trina, and like I know that there's like some stuff coming up, because I think that like Jocelyn's gonna end up kind of being a foil to Sprina as well, like not really wanting them together, like standing in the middle of that. And I think that, there's some ways to appropriately drag Jocelyn for that, and to remember, or to not make that mean that she's not she's not a friend to Trina. Because actually the friendship is what keeps like the relationship with the legacy character, but the friendship with the legacy character is like what keeps Trina relevant whenever Tatiana wants to leave the role. So like if you think about Gia, for example, who folks want back, people don't talk about Gia. I mean, Taggart's right there and Trina's right there, and I think we've had Gia mentioned once. She needed a lawyer and nobody was like, let's go get my Aunt Gia. It just wasn't ever mentioned. And that's because like Gia never had friendships on the show. She had Nicholas and that was it. And as a matter of fact, the way they wrote her and Liz was like really fucked up.
Yeah.
I remember she was mostly antagonistic with the other young people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But her and Liz's relationship was especially not it.
Very, very toxic.
Very. So take with that what you will.
Which, like, so when one of the few times they brought up Gia was they had Liz bring her up, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I was friends with Trina's aunt Gia," and I was like, "I'm
No,
sorry, I must have missed that because y'all fucking hated each other." Like,
hated each other.
intensely.
Hated each other. Like Maya Ward leaves. She was like dating Luke's kid. And all we ever hear about Maya is like every once in a while when they need some ELQ shares and she's a proxy and somebody has her proxy. And even Keisha, who was dating both AJ and Jason, they don't talk about. And so, and I think that's like a longer issue with the show, but I think that the things that I am also a person who really loves friendships. So like Anna is the ship. You know, I've loved Anna across ships. I love Vanna right now, but I love Annalisa. Like, so when I think about Anna, I'm thinking about Anna and Felicia. When I think about like Brenda, I definitely obviously think about Sunny and Brenda and Jackson Brenda and that triangle, but I think about Robin and Brenda.
Yeah.
And so I think that like friendships are so important, and the investment in the friendship between Josh and Trina is an investment in both of the characters of Josh and Trina, because I think spring is going to be amazing whenever we finally get it. My God, Lord, it's just been so long.
It's been long.
It's been so long. But I think that it's going to be amazing once we finally get it. I mean, come on, like there's just no way that Tabiana and Nicholas will not deliver. Like it's just impossible, right? But we've had amazing couplings before. The thing that like sticks long term is the friendships. And so yeah, that's what I just wanted to like add that. I think that that is what the friendship with Jocelyn, less with Cameron, but the friendship with Jocelyn for me is what makes it so clear that they're invested in Trina as a character.
Yeah.
Those are my hot takes. What y'all got?
Well, fuck Lante forever.
Yeah.
I do not want Lulu back.
Never.
I do not like where this is, where they are potentially taking the Sante storyline. I am very annoyed. To have them running around, propping Cody, babysitting Carly and Sunny, like running around doing all this shit with none of their own story. We thought we cleared the fake dream hurdle. This is not even new dream, and it's fake dream. Hell no. This is no dream of mine. This is a nightmare. When she looked back at Drew and Carly, I said, no, 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 no.
No.
I thought we were done with this.
Yeah, I'm not.
Bad on me, because they can never be done with something that's a bad idea, that's forced and contrived and like doesn't work. So I'm mad as a Sante fan, and like there is no story left for Lante at this time. Dante needs to be in a relationship with someone who isn't Lulu. Lulu's got to do that, right? Like Lulu had Johnny, Lulu had Dustin. Dante's never had that. Cause like Valerie was never a thing. That was never going to be the thing, even though I did like it. You know, like he was never going to be with Valerie. That was clear. And obviously not with Brooklyn. Like he's never had a legit love interest until that wasn't Lulu until Sam.
Yep.
And like we should get to see that actually play out.
Yep.
Because they actually have a lot of story, we could tell. Because Sam is a totally different kind of character than Lulu. And we actually, this is more interesting for Sam than trying to play Dream with Cameron Matheson.
No one wants that.
Cameron Matheson also so clearly has that kind of spark with Laura Wright, regardless of how I feel about how the story actually plays out. Mm-hmm. It's just like it's moving people around needlessly when you actually have things that are working. And Sante is one of the few romantic couples on the show that actually works, despite the fact that they give them nothing. So if they actually gave them things, can you imagine how that would go? It would be amazing. And that's why they're not doing it, because it doesn't fit in line with whatever it is that they have in mind. But like the only way, and I'm not saying I would want it, the only way I would find Lulu waking up out of the coma remotely interesting, if Julie Marie Berman came back to the show. Now that would be interesting, because we haven't seen her and Dom together in such a long time, and they did have the chem, right? Like that would be a compelling waking up out of the coma. But if it was like Emmy waking up out of the coma, or even a Lulu that we didn't know, right? If to say they decide to recast Lulu entirely again, that's not the where Dante and Lulu left off was not intriguing.
No.
That their end was not intriguing because they had run out of story to tell. So like, just don't do it. No. It would be so easy not to. You could just not do it. So text me, Frank, and I'll tell you. Don't do it. Even if you did have Julie, I would be like, And one of the reasons why I would be interested in seeing Julie would be we never really got to see much of her and Jeannie together. I think that I am interested in. Like I would be interested in a better Lulu as Laura's daughter, but not for Dante.
But I do think she has some stories that we could use her input in. I mean, she could be all in the mix on the Cassadines. I mean, like, what the fuck, Nicholas? Yes. Where's Tyler? And get this imposter, because this is not my brother. And she could do a story with Maxie and being like, Maxie, you do not belong with Austin. Get back with Spencer. All kinds of stories. She could be. Julie was great at dragging folks, and so that would be really interesting to have her in. But yeah, not with.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Lulu, period. But I do think that like her relationships outside of Dante as Julie would be interesting. I would be interested to see her and Carly again. I really liked Julie and Laura's relationship before they blew that up. I would be interested. I did love Julie with Tyler Christopher, so let's manifest getting him back. And like you said, I would love to see Julie with Jeannie. For me, I just feel like Sante has so much natural story to tell, which is why we haven't seen them, because our writers are not storytellers.
They're factory workers.
And they don't need to be. Like there's actually compelling things to tell with Sante that they should do. And I'm just not, I mean, if Billy was back, I'd be like, yes, of course, dream. Cameron Matheson, I've seen people be like, Cameron Matheson and Laura Wright don't have chemistry. Stop it.
That's all
Cameron Matheson and Laura Wright have his chemistry. And Cameron Matheson has indiscriminate chemistry with everyone, and he sparks more with Laura Wright. It just is like,
and he cannot carry a story the way that Billy could.
No.
I mean, multiple stories the way that Billy used to.
You said what?
I said, let alone multiple stories the way that Billy used to.
I mean, but the other piece of it is that Drew was created because Billy was good. We don't actually know who Drew is, like, for real. Like, I've always been confused as to who Drew was as a character. Like, he holds Jason's memories, but he doesn't. Like, does he have his old memories back? Like, we've never gotten really clear answers about him. So, like, Drew was created because Steve Burton wanted his job back. Like, that's why Drew was created. And so there was not any carry over between Billy and Cam, just because like they don't have the same kind of acting style, the same level of talent. It just doesn't work. So let's not try to force it and make it work. Let's not try to force Kelly Monaco into a relationship with Cameron Matheson when so clearly Cameron Matheson and Laura Wright want to like play this out, and most of us with taste are enjoying Sante.
Yes. And like people have come around to Sante.
Yeah.
They're so consistently good. So, yikes. Just making all kinds of bad choices. Yeah. It would be so easy to not to. Yeah. I am ready for my Ava and Spencer team up. Give it to me. I need it now. I like just that one moment of Ava being like, Spencer did this for Trina. Yeah. So team up. My face.
It also makes me mad that Spencer didn't just tell her in the first place.
Well, yeah. Absolutely. And I have no energy to be angry at my child this week because he's in jail. And I hate it.
I have all the energy.
You're like, I have plenty of room to be mad at him and to be concerned about him being in jail. Just free him. I'm tired. Free him. Free Trina. Free Ava. I'm tired of all of it. So that's what else is there to say? I don't have any other hot takes.
I have two.
Tell us.
Cody is such a bully. Boo. Fuck you, Cody. Scott Baldwin does not owe you a living. That's it.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. I love the consistency.
Also, Britt, are you stupid? If somebody like warns you against somebody, why would you go tell the person?
No. I'm glad you got that Emmy, Kelly, because they're doing you wrong this year. And they did you wrong last year too, but at least you got that Emmy bait, you know?
Yes. They had her bring up Jason again. I was like, yeah, gag me.
Leave this poor woman alone. She's been through enough. And I mean both Kelly and Britt. Just leave them both alone.
Leave them alone.
Let her work with Roger.
Let's do it.
Let this Emmy winner work with Roger Howarth.
Another Emmy winner.
It would really be that simple.
Also, give me Spixie.
Yes.
I like their scenes. Give it to me.
Give it to me.
And I'm glad. Yeah, Maxie, be jealous.
Yeah, be jealous.
Follow that line of thinking. You're on the right track.
Well, Sandra, I won't even say what we have to look forward to. Why don't you preview the week ahead for us?
Okay, so it's kind of similar to this week. There are some good things, and then there's a lot of bad things. So, without further ado, Elizabeth's yellow wallpaper. On Monday, Finn and Terry discussed their worries about Elizabeth. On Thursday, bet you can't wait for this. Elizabeth is triggered by another disturbing memory. Great. And Friday, Finn reaches out to someone in Elizabeth's past. Wonderful.
So overstepping again. Great.
Trauma, triggering, and boundary crossing. Abounds, but no boundaries. I'm still playing around with this. We used to call it Wiley's adult, so now Wiley doesn't matter anymore. So, Willow's. I'm calling it Willow's cancer baby / Carsona's episode guarantees. So that's what we're doing here. We're just treading water. So Tuesday, Olivia discusses Carly and Drew's budding relationship. Sunny and Nina have a romantic date. Later.
Oh, tomato.
Later, Sunny confronts Dex about his past. So apparently the date does not last that long. Or Dex is on their date for some reason. Willow received some devastating news. Cancer baby. On Wednesday, Willow opens up to TJ. You know, I'm team fuck Tolly. Are they gonna put TJ and Willow together?
I hope not.
I just don't want TJ with another like wafy white girl. Right. But what are the options, really? So moving on. And also Nina and Carly come to blows.
Like for real fight?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just reading the spoiler. They come to blows. That's the Wednesday.
Is it gonna be with the culturally appropriated knife?
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
All right.
There's like just like a bunch of random stories. I was talking to Tracy about this earlier. I was like, I don't even know how to categorize these spoilers. So we're just gonna return to defund men because it's like evergreen. Thursday, Brooklyn has a surprise assist to help Chase with his career. I don't think it's probably gonna be that helpful. Knowing their track record. Scott wants to tell Lucy about Cody. Meanwhile, Maxie, again being an awful friend, encourages Britt to give Cody a chance. Friday, Dante is afraid he may have messed things up with Sam. Alexis and Gregory connect. God, I'm getting so tired. I'm getting so tired while I'm reading this. Austin tries to set boundaries with a family member.
Wait a minute. All this drama is a family member?
The person who is blackmailing him is his cousin. So I think that's who he's trying to set boundaries with. But I guess it could be a cue if they remember that he's a Quartermain. But I'm assuming it's his cousin who is blackmailing him for some reason. And then your favorite, Britt confronts Cody. Romantic. Okay. Wake up. You know, like that's like a trauma response thing. Like your body just starts to shut down. Oh, yeah. It's like something that happens in animals too. You just like freeze, play dead, fall asleep. That's what's happening to me. Okay, Vanna.
You're up.
Vanna, you're up, thank God. Not together, but talking about each other. So Valentine tries to convince Victor that Anna is no longer a problem. What we do know about Anna Devane, she's always going to be a problem, and that's what we love about her. I'm sure Victor is going to be like, please. Meanwhile, Anna concocts a plan with Lucy. I like it. I look forward to that. And that's it. That's all for Vanna, unfortunately. Then we have the only story that really matters and is moving at all, which is Trina and her trial and all the offshoots thereof. So bid day on Monday. Curtis and Portia anxiously await to see if their plan works. Ooh. My baby and her syringe. Cam meets Dex, and Cam does not have a good feeling about him, reinforcing my good feelings towards Cam. Cam's stock continues to rise. Team Cam. Sweet and complicated. Sweet and complex. Cameron Weber.
Complex Cam. Oh.
Caring and complex Cam.
Yeah.
So, put it on the record.
He even gave Spencer those cheese fries when he was in jail.
That was very sweet.
I like it. I'm going to tweet about this.
Great. Thank you, because I'm not going to.
The best decision you've ever made. Anyway.
I gotta protect my peace. Okay. Also on Monday, Spencer makes a tough decision. Victor questions Nicholas about Esme, and what we know from Soap Opera Digest is that Nicholas confesses to killing Esme to Victor to get him off of Ava's trail. I don't know.
Victor wouldn't protect Ava.
See, because what I was wanting was Viva. Like, this is not giving. What I wanted was for Ava to be like, oh, you fucked Esme? Well, I'm gonna fuck your uncle.
Yes.
But no, we have instead Ava being trapped into this awful marriage. But cool. Meanwhile, Trina nervously awaits the verdict, which will arrive on Tuesday when Trina learns her fate.
Well, at least they're not dragging it all the way out to next Friday.
Well, God knows they've dragged it out till now. Right. Do is give it to us on a Tuesday.
Right.
And then Wednesday, Spencer is having second thoughts. Ava and Nicholas conspire with an unlikely person in order to protect themselves. And Jordan starts to investigate the Esme case. Unfortunately, it is the wrong case and far too late. So you're gonna investigate this bitch disappearing, but not her framing Trina? Okay.
It's so stupid.
It's very white lady. It's giving reality. So, and that's not what I want. If I wanted a reality, I would not be dissociating and watching this show. Thank you. So yeah, unfortunately, we'll only be getting our kids are only spoiled through Wednesday. Then we have Vanna to keep us going on Thursday, but I'm telling you, Friday looks yuck. So I'm sorry. I just want to warn people in advance. Friday is very ungood.
You think we're kind of waiting out this pattern of Friday is not being good anymore because of the previous preemptions. And so now it's like Monday, Tuesdays are the good days. And then Thursday, Fridays are like, ugh.
Better like,
yeah,
recalibrate now that they've been back.
Yeah.
So.
Well, unless Trump, gets arrested, I'm fine with a preemption for that live.
Oh yeah.
I
want live breaking news when he gets arrested and carted off. If he gets arrested, I highly doubt it. Because this country being what it is.
Damn. We're all just like, our show is bad. Our country, worse. But that's evergreen.
True.
The show wasn't always this bad.
No.
Country, yes, but more apparent.
There's so many things that they can do to make the show better.
Parallel.
I don't want to be that one to be like, oh, y'all should watch Young and the Restless now, because y'all should. But hey, there's a lot going on there. But anyway, but like I said, sometimes GH is on hit, and then the next time it's like Young and the Restless, and then it's like Bold and Beautiful, and then back to GH, and then back. It's like a circle.
Well, I don't watch Bold and Beautiful, but what I do know is Sin, that couple, I have seen the gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Steffi and Finn, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the gifts. Congratulations, Sin fans.
Congratulations. You've been through a lot.
But they really delivered for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, am I supposed to be watching this? Feels very steamy.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
They had 2 love scenes in one show.
And it's only 30 minutes, right?
Right.
Wait, Bold and Beautiful's only 30 minutes?
Right.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Wow. I'm very jealous.
Why an hour only 30 minutes?
No, it's a whole hour. It's a whole hour.
Learn new things every day.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, if we had 2 love scenes in a week on GH, I'd be like, we are abundance. It's rating sex.
It's rating.
And I've never
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. It's rating sex.
Hey.
2 couples had sex on the show. My God, it's practically an orgy.
Right.
Swingers.
Well, here we are. Well, recall Robert Scorpio. Don't forget.
That's the title.
It's the title.
Recall.
Oh yeah, we're probably a couple things. We are nearing our year mark for Sunday Shift.
A year.
Isn't that crazy? We've been talking about this show for a year.
A year of Sundays.
A year of Sundays. So that's first thing. We also, because Sandra, your play, are gonna probably try to have a rolling guest host situation. But don't worry, Sandra's not going nowhere. Sandra's just talented, unless Sandra takes on the role of Nicholas Cassidy.
Yes.
Then we're okay. You don't have to be on Sunday Shift. Or you can still be.
It would be such a coup to have an actor on Sunday Shift telling all the tea.
Oh, the quickness with which I would get fired from General Hospital. Like, they would never hire me. They'd be like, you have dragged too many people too publicly. You have said some wild shit. You keep on trying to make everyone gay. We can't, you are an HR issue. We can't hire you. But I am vaxxed.
Wait. When Sandra said they queer baited you with Dex and Michael.
It was worth it. It was worth it. I may have I will never get to take over the role of Nicholas Cassidy because of some of the things I said, and I stand by all of them.
So they put up like this very weird like tweet from like the official GH thing, like Dex wants Michael to make him whole, and Sandra who never tweets was like, what is this? Everybody's like, oh my God, is Sandra back? Sandra was like, I was queer baited. I thought, ignore me, I'm not back.
I'm not back. I'm just here to talk about how mad I am and how gay this is, and now I'm retreating again. I did appreciate people calling me in though, being like, what do you think about this?
I mean, listen, if Dex is for Joss, Michael does have a history of fucking his siblings, friend, or partners. So
in that and in that way, it really is Sonny's son. So family legacy. It's undeniable.
What is a legacy? You know what I mean?
Don't talk about planting seeds in that context. Yikes. I think that's right for us.
I feel like that's also a wrap. Anytime I try to do like announcements, we just go off the rails. So with that, we will see you next week. Oh, we're gonna do the Tabiana and Eden Zoom, so we will have some things to report out next week when we talk. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.